Are we taping?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, today I figured that since Penny has been nagging me for her fluids today, that I would show you guys how I do subcutaneous fluids for my Penelope. I'm not going to take the camera a minute. This is the open top carrier that I use. That's not dirt, that's catnip. And you see she's got 2 catnip laden toys in here. Anything to help her associate positive things with getting fluids. My Penny is not an easy cat to handle by any stretch of the imagination. She gave the vet the other day a run for her money, or run for his money, believe me. So we have to make the experience as pleasant as possible for Penny. I say Penelope and Penny. Her name is Penelope, but I call her Penny. Mom, you can lower that. And sorry, Mom's my videographer. So what I've been, can you see that from here?
No. All right.
Okay. What I do is, well, here, I'll take the camera and then I'll hand it back. Sorry. Mom is on a cane, so she isn't able to walk around. But I've had her fluids warming in a pan full of hot water, and I let it warm for 10 minutes, and I take some of the colder water out, and then I splash more hot water. That's why the cups are here. And this is not a new bag. Obviously, I already pierced it with the line. There are other videos on YouTube on how to do that, but it's very easy. This area here comes with a plug, and you pull the plug off, and then you stick the line in, and you make sure that it doesn't touch anything besides going into the bag, so that way it remains sterile. And then I still have yesterday's needle on here. What I'm going to do right now is drain the line to get the warm fluid going through there and get the air bubbles out, because that's very uncomfortable for cats. And then after I drain the line, I'll put a fresh needle on it, and then you'll see how I hang it up. And here's our little model today, and I'm hoping that she'll cooperate. Sometimes Mom does have to put her hand over Penny's shoulders, but since she's taping today, I'm hoping Penny will just be good. Okay, all right.
All right.
Make sure you're not covering the camera. No. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to drain the cold water out of the line. There's a bunch of air bubbles in here. So I stick it in the sink to drain it. And I twist this little roller here to get the fluid going. And then I pick it up and put it in my mouth to hold it, elevate it. Because the water flows that much there. The water always flows that much better when the bag is elevated. So now I'm just going to put the fresh needle on, make sure it doesn't touch anything so it remains sterile. And of course, I washed my hands before I did this, but you still bacteria on my hands, and with an immune compromised cat. So I put the new needle on the tip, and I have water on my face, sorry. So now I'll dry off the bag. Because cats don't like water dripping on them. Now luckily today we have the remnants of Hurricane Harvey. And there's a bunch of robins in the backyard, so that'll give Penny something to watch while we're doing her fluids. So I put the part that's going to go in her in there.
Bob. I need to stop this for a minute.
I can't edit.
Oh, all right.
Hold on. This is what happens when you have amateurs doing everything. Hold on. Okay. Sorry, she couldn't zoom it in. Or zoom it out. Anyway, I use a hanger. And I stick the fluid bag on the hanger where I can read it. And then I stick it. We have a ceiling fan up here. So I just stick it up there. But you can buy a fluid thing or use a shower hook or whatever. Penny doesn't like going into the bathroom. And I like to do it in an area where she has something to watch. while she's doing it. And since we don't normally eat on the kitchen table unless it's Thanksgiving, I figure this is safe. And yes, we do disinfect it before Thanksgiving dinner. And that's when we cook, which is another story in itself. Anybody knows us knows that we're the two lazy daggos that don't like to cook, so we don't really eat on this table very often. I'm trying to figure out 325. Penny's on about 125 mLs, so we're going to go down to 450. And let me take the camera and show. I'm not going to have y'all sit through the whole 2 minutes that it takes, only because I sing to Penny, and I think that would be torture for you guys. But right now she's at about 325. So we're going to take her down to 450. And that's going to be 125 mLs of fluid. So, anyway, I'm facing the camera the wrong way. I just have to get Penny in the carrier. Hopefully she cooperates. And she's not. See, and I'm glad that she's not. Because everyone, you see these videos on YouTube where the cat looks like they're sedated. But this is what a feisty cat looks like when she's getting fluids, and people need to see that even difficult cats can get fluids too. So now I want to inject on her left side because I tend to have a better time with that. So I'm going to kind of guide her using what I call a football hold on how I want her to sit. You don't have to zoom in that closely on her. And now we're just waiting for her to come all the way down so that I can give her fluids. Being that she's been watching robins outside and she's a little hyper today. And then I'll just show you how I do a flank shot, because most people, come on Penny, Penel. Most people give fluids in a scruff. And with Penny being a diabetic, I already know that she does not like any type of scruff shot. That will never fly in our world. I once saw a vet tech do it in the flank, and I'm like, yeah, that'll work for Penny because that's where I give her insulin injections. So she's already used to that. She's not sitting on the side that I want to inject. And she's going to take forever because we're taping. All right, good girl, Penny. Now, hopefully, she'll let me do this. She's back up. Let me see if I can do it without Mom's assistance. Well, okay, so if you can do both, Mom. Mom usually... No. Penel. This is what it looks like to give a difficult cat fluids. Like I said, when I watch YouTube videos and all these cats, they look like they were drugged up. And they're just sitting there. And I'm like, no, my cat's too feisty for that. That'll never fly in Penelope's world. She has to feel like she's in charge. And so I had to let her get up and move around because that's what she's just showing me, that she's still in charge. So I want the world to see what it's like to give a stubborn, headstrong cat that, despite stage 4 kidney disease and some really bad numbers that were reported to us the other day, she still wants to fight. So anyway, okay, now you can zoom in and hopefully she'll cooperate. If not, we'll cut the video because Mom's going to have to... You don't have to zoom in, Mom. Just point where I'm going to stick her. And make sure this needle doesn't touch anything. Make sure the bevel is facing up.
Remember,
because that hurts less.
All right, okay.
So when I inject, I'm going to make sure that the bevel is actually down. And that'll pinch her less. And she's up again. So Mom's going to have to hold her. Mom, you still have to videotape Penny. All right. And then, because Penny's long-haired, I don't do the tent. I just pull up by the hair. It's called a flat shot. Okay, are you getting that? I just pull up by the hair like that. Because if I try to tent, it's very difficult with her fur.
All right.
Okay, and then we'll just turn on the fluids. And then I'll tell Mom when to cut out. And just make sure we're flowing okay. Mom, zoom in real quick, real quick. See, that shows us how well we're flowing. So you always want to make sure there's
It looks blurry.
space in there.
Oh, all right.
You want to make sure there's some space. This is the real world, folks. That there's space in the reservoir, so that way you can actually see how it's flowing. And we're flowing very nicely. I will spare you my singing the Penelope song. So thanks for joining. And if nothing else,